everyone? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Ryan, aka the Inland Empress. It is a very rainy day in California. It is, oh, I thought I heard some thunder. I was about to say, oh no, it's storming. But still very rainy days in California. My light is doing overtime and it is so cold in this house. Like I'm freezing out here, jeez. But nonetheless, we are still in the beginning of the year, and I'm feeling like I've just had a lot of things like happen to me in the past couple of weeks, and just kind of wanted to like touch base on it. I'm really taking this time to reflect. So something that I'm reflecting on is, my patterns when it comes to working and why I hate working so much. Obviously, we're living in a time where, especially Gen Zs are, which I am, Gen Z 98, we are kind of like very much on the tip of knowing your worth and not settling for less when these companies don't care about you. And I love that we are living in that tone. I feel like I was doing that before it was popular, and maybe it's just because I'm a Gen Z, but I was doing that before it was popular. Right now, I am in a new work environment. Been there, somewhat new. I've been there since last year's like September, and it's now January, and I'm kind of at my wit's end. So I guess I'm just trying to figure out, is it the jobs or is it me? So just to give a little background, I have been working since I was 18. To sum it up, I've had 9 jobs in the past 6 years. In different industries, in food service, in retail. I've done warehouse twice. I've done management, customer service, everything. This is the first time I'm working in public service. I am right now a substitute teacher for the county, for my county that I live in. That gives you a little bit of kind of like how I, besides the pandemic, like how I move around jobs. I pretty much do it until it no longer serves me, until I find something wrong with it, panic about it, and then move on. The reason I decided to be a substitute teacher was because I wanted something that would give me a little more flexibility while I'm trying to figure out like what exactly that I want to do. Like, is it going to be content creation? Is it going to be YouTube? Is it going to be something else? I knew that it would be not that much. Well, I thought, I will say, it wasn't going to be that much responsibility aside from facilitating something that was already made for me and going about my day. So that, and I could choose which days I wanted to work. If an assignment was offered to me, I could say yes or no, and maybe I could have that day off and then the next day get another assignment. I came into this knowing that someone would always need to sub, but no idea that there was actually an entire teacher shortage as bad as it is. So after I quit Amazon, I started working as a substitute teacher. I did the orientation. It was really quick and easy. The only requirements I needed to be a substitute in California was to pass the CBEST, which is a test that basically just like shares your, like basically just proves that you know how to read, write, and do some basic math. Now they're not even requiring people to take that test because that's how bad the shortage is for substitutes and teachers. But I had to take that test. I had to have a college degree, which I had, and I needed 2 letters of recommendation, which I got. So it was pretty easy for me to become a substitute teacher in the county. In county classes, I'll say, at least in California, in county classes, you have a teacher and you have what's known as a paraeducator, which is basically like a teacher's aide. They help assist the teacher and, do some facilitation of small groups. Some paraeducators work with certain students. Some are more for special ed kids, so it's a lot. It's a lot. So the classes that I was going to were special ed classes, and they would have like 2 or 3 paraeducators. And when I came in, they did all the work. They said they did not ask me for help. There was no really a lesson plan. Most of the kids were small, and in the high schoolers, there just wasn't much that they needed me to do. They pretty much had it all covered. So that first week, I really wasn't doing anything much. My second week, I took an assignment for a alternative education school, which is basically like a continuation school. So when kids get kicked out of their regular school for drugs, maybe for fighting, for flunking out, falling behind, they go to these alternative education schools. When I accepted the assignment, all I seen was Monday something 22 to Wednesday something 22, and I'm thinking it's a 3-day assignment. I click on the assignment, I say yes, I'm going to do it, and I saw that it was actually not 3 days, and it was 6 weeks, about 6 or 7 weeks of being in the same class. So long-term sub. I did not know that until after it was too late. And I didn't know if I canceled the assignment, if they would give me another one within that 6-week interval, because if you say you can't do an assignment, they're not going to give you another one for that same day. And it was 6 weeks worth of days. So I decided to just go and see what happens and see if I was going to stay. But there was no lesson plan given to me. The teacher before left me nothing. I had nothing to work with. There was no plan for the week. There was no plan for the day. And it was very much like jumping in the middle of a sea with absolutely nothing and trying to give these kids something that they, need. And as the weeks went on, it went that I'm helping do report cards, helping administer credits, being in meetings with parents, and all of these things that I had no idea that I was going to be doing when I became a sub. So after my 6 weeks was up, I had the opportunity to extend the assignment, which I did. And it extended from the end of November to the end of December. And then from December to now. The reasons that I stayed were basically like, it was very consistent. And I think that was really like my fear talking, because the point of me being a sub was so that I could have something a little bit more flexible, so then I could actually foster these interests that I have and see where they go and see if I can start making money elsewhere, because that was the point. And then I ended up in another rigidly scheduled job where I knew how much I was going to be paid, I knew what to expect, and I got really comfortable there. And they were saying that I could extend, and I did. This is my 4th month there, and now I'm getting exhausted. So I say all this to say, when is the right time to let something go? Mind you, if I do leave this assignment, I will not be out of work. It just won't be as consistent. But something that really is just like making me really question, like, should I just leave this all behind, is the work environment. I'm a person who really doesn't like uncertainty. I don't like confrontation. I don't like uncertainty, unpredictability, and I don't like a hostile environment. I've seen all of these things in this assignment. It just triggers something inside of me, and it's from my childhood. These are triggers that I have, and dealing with them every day, having your trigger show up in your face every day is tough, because you're either going to handle it or you're going to run away from it. And I don't know which one is better for me at this moment, because every day I'm coming home frantic and panicking and anxious. Almost all of December, I was deathly afraid of driving. I've never been afraid to drive before. I've been driving since I was 17 years old, and I was deathly afraid of driving, afraid of just too many moving parts, afraid of getting on the freeway, afraid of just the worst thing happening. And it felt like that came from going into the classroom and not knowing what was going to happen. And it kind of fostered like an anxiety in me, and it just brought me down into a downward spiral, panicking. So I'm coming home every day panicking and worrying and complaining and upset, and I'm waking up every morning not wanting to go into work. So then now the question becomes, when is the right time to leave? I have people on separate sides of my life telling me very different things. So I have one side of people saying, just stay. You're gonna find your triggers showing up all the time in your life. You might as well stay here and endure them and try to heal from them. And then I have another side of people saying, just leave that assignment. It doesn't matter. That is not your job. All the things that you've been doing is above and beyond. That is not your job. You don't get paid for that. Know your worth and leave. So which way do I go? I have no idea. And I really think it's because of this pattern that I have where I just don't like something so bad that I feel like I have to jump ship. But at one point, is it I don't like something so bad that I have to jump ship, and it is really affecting my mental health and affecting my ability to function as a human being. One, I have two faults in this situation. One was taking the assignment not knowing how long it actually was because I wasn't paying attention. And two, deciding to extend this into something, extending the assignment and kind of just making it seem like I was going to be there longer than I actually want to. Now I'm feeling guilty because I'm ready to go. I'm ready to leave. I'm ready to jump ship, but I don't need to be there anymore. Like, realistically, I can leave on February 16th and it's done. And no one can say I wasn't doing my job because I did my assignment. But on the other hand, it's like I have a rapport with the kids. I have a rapport with the students. I have a rapport with some of the parents. And me just getting up and leaving is like affecting everybody else. So do I worry about me or do I worry about everybody else? I really want to prioritize my self-care, and I really want to prioritize my personal passions. And I'm feeling like I can't do that because now I'm so invested in this job that wasn't supposed to be like this. This is not what I had in mind when I decided to be a substitute teacher. I know I really need to prioritize my self-care. I have to. I did not do that last year, and I went into some low places, and I can't. I know they will come up again, but I know that they could be better if I just prioritize some self-care. I know that I want to be less on my phone, less on social media. I know I need to get more active. I know I need to eat better. And I know I just need to find some ways to relax and cope because I just did not have that. It was so hard for me to have that last year, and I want that so badly. So I'm gonna end this video with this. Everybody knows that being in your 20s is rough. So why do I feel so alone? I think that, people in their 20s, at least the people who I know, are very interested, especially on social media, are very interested in showing you the good things. Obviously, no one wants to show the bad things on social media. Everybody wants to show the good things, the trips, the money, the good jobs, the vacations, the drinking out, the having, the partying. Like, everybody wants to show those things, but nobody wants to show you the hard times because that's really who you are on the inside. It's such a problem for my generation, for Gen Z, for the generation after us, because all we're seeing is the good things and you feel so alone in your bad things. We are in this during one of the hardest times to be young in a very long time. We are coming out of a pandemic. We are coming out of very crazy administration. The economy is one smidge away from a recession. Inflation is going up. And cost of living is insane. The availability for work after college is minimal. And no one could have prepared us for this. And it's just hard. So when people aren't talking about it, it makes you feel like you are all alone. And I think something that I really want to do is show that we are not alone. And if no one has told you that, I want to be the person to tell you that we are not alone, and we're going to figure it out. It's either going to work for us or we're going to adapt, but we're going to figure it out. It'll be okay. Please put down in the comments your experiences, guys. Are you guys serial quitters, or are you staying in jobs that you know you're miserable in, but just are kind of afraid of the shift and change? Let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.